Hi guys, so today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So I want to show you how to do the embroidered heart on a pocket. I do use these a lot on kind of a pockets for coats for girls. It looks really cute, and I am in no way, shape or form a professional at embroidering. I just do this for fun. And this is the heart that I want to do with you now. I have been asked a lot of times to do this, so finally I actually found some time to sit down and do this together with you. So we're gonna do this in a French knot. I will try to do my best to explain how it is done, but if you find this difficult, you can just Google or try on YouTube. Just put in French knot embroidery and they will show you how to do this. Okay, like I said, I might not be doing everything correctly, but this is what comes out at the end of what I do. Okay, so first of all, you're gonna need a pocket. I already have pockets done. The only thing is it doesn't have to be exactly the same pocket, any kind of pocket, as long as it is in single crochets. So all this part is single crochets, and I just have some front and back post double crochets, and I have a little bit of a yarn left over just so I can sew it onto the project after I'm done. Now, if you have it as well, make sure that you kind of take something and you secure it at the top so we don't sew these onto when we will be embroidering, because we're gonna have a lot of things going on in the back of that pocket. Okay, so if you want to do this with me, let's go and have a look of what we're gonna need and how to do this. Okay, so we're gonna start with looking at the needles that we are going to use. You just need to find one that is very straight, that the end of the needle would not be very thick or sticking out, meaning that if the end, the loom or the loop of the needle, it will be much bigger than the needle itself, it will be very difficult to pull it out through the knot. Okay, so as straight as you can. You can see I have a few of these here. They are all quite similar, but I choose a slightly shorter one that will make it a little bit easier for me. Now, the next thing that we are going to need is the yarn. This is just normal lightweight yarn, the same as my pocket. So make sure that your pocket is in single crochets, otherwise it will be very difficult to do the French knots. It can look anything around, but it has to be in single crochets. So this is the color that I'm going to use. You don't need a whole lot of it, just enough to make a little heart. And one more thing that I am going to need is some sort of leftover strand or something, just to make borders for the heart. So when we're doing the first time that we are going around, so we can kind of look and not to make it too big or too small. Just something for us to make it slightly easier. So I'm gonna thread that. I'm gonna find the very middle of my pocket. Now, when I'm making pockets that I'm going to embroider, I try to do an odd number of stitches. So I have 11 single crochets right here. And I know that this front post is the very middle. I'm gonna go all the way down. And starting from the bottom, I'm just gonna make myself a little shape. Yeah, so this is the side of my heart. It doesn't have to be pretty, it's just something for us to make sure that we can see where we have to stop, so we don't make it too big or too small, especially when you have you're making the second one the same as that one. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna find the place where so I think I want this part, the middle one, to be right here. So I'm just gonna see. Like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to do a very simple job. And like this. And I'm gonna do the other side. I'm gonna try and make it as close to the side as possible. I mean, the shape of it. So I think right here. A little bit straight. And make sure that you're in the same row. And straight down. So just like this. Now you can always you know, take it out and do it again if you're not happy with the size or something. I'm happy with that, and don't worry that we have these sharp corners here. When we will be doing the French knots, we can go nicely around it. So next I'm going to make a little knot right here. I'm not gonna make it very tight, just so it's not coming out, and I will cut so I don't stitch over those tails. And so this is my heart, and I'm going to start my French knots. Get yourself a little bit of yarn, not too much. Don't know how much I have here. Perhaps about 50 centimeters in length. Don't I find it difficult when I work with a very long piece of yarn, because it starts twisting around, and I start kind of stitching over my tails and stuff. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have to cut my yarn a couple of times and start over again with a new piece, but that is okay. So first thing I do is I make a little slip knot like this. We're gonna hide it after, and we're gonna start at the very, very bottom and pull your yarn out like this. So if you feel that this is going to be a problem for you, you can look. So I will show you how to hide this tail. I'm just gonna do it after. Now, when you pull out that yarn like this, you are going to put your needle under the strand, and you're gonna roll it around or twist it around the needle twice. So the needle is under, and with my left hand I go once and 2 times under. Now I'll try to keep that strand in my hand, and I will find a place quite close to where my yarn is coming out of the pocket, okay? Just a little bit further on, and make sure that you don't put it in the same place, otherwise the knot is just going to be pulled out in the other side. So a little bit further on, as close as you can, but a little bit further, like this, and I'm gonna pull that out. I'm still holding on to that tail and let it out. And this is my French knot. I'm gonna go around, so this side. So the next place that I can get my needle in is right here. Again, hold on to your needle and wrap around it twice. Find a little place next to it and pull that out. Again, a little further on. I try to do them as close as I can. It doesn't always, it's not always possible to do it beautifully. Don't worry about if you have any gaps. We will come back to them later and we can fix the shape of it, okay? We're just doing the first kind of a starting row just to have a little bit of shape. I'm gonna twist around twice. again, just keep going around the edges, make them nice and round around the shape. So I will keep doing that until I run out of yarn. Now I'm starting to run out of yarn, so this is how much I ended up doing. And the one thing that I like to do is go in through the loop that I had from the start. If it is close to me, if it's not, I just hide it like this. So you want to go in between the rows. Make sure you can't see it on the other side. So I go one way, so make sure that you cannot see the needle on the other side. And then I'm going back. Like this. So I find that 2 times one way and coming back is enough, because it is a pocket. Perhaps if it was on a cardigan or on a place that would be moving around a little bit more, I would do perhaps 1, 2, and 3 for hiding it. But for pocket, I just do 2. And the same with the other tail. Now we can hide that tail with a loop straight whenever you are connecting the yarn. I just find it's a little easier for me. Okay, so again, I am going to get a bit more yarn. I'm gonna thread it in. And now, as I am almost done going all the way around, I do want to put another French knot right here, but I can see my shape quite clearly now, so I'm just gonna cut off those that yarn that I had made my borders from. Don't need it anymore. I can see now. It will be easier to fix the shape without it. And this, just pull them out. So this is sort of the first row or so. I'm just gonna connect back in there again where I need to do another one, or wherever you have left off. Oh, I forgot to do the loop. So back here. And a French knot. And I'm kind of finished going around once. Now I will fix the next time I go around, or at the end, or whenever, where I want to put another perhaps French knot here, perhaps right here, just to make them tighter and closer next to each other. But I will start on the second row, or I will go around on the inside of the heart, around again. So this is where I want to do the next knot. Now I want to fill in this gap, so I'm coming out where I want my French knot to be. And you can twist the pocket around if you need to. And I will just keep going around until my heart is has less and less brown space in there. So the closer that you can put those French knots, the nicer it is going to look. Okay, so this time I went into the same space, so you can see right here, so my knot is just coming out on the inside. So this is the problem with the French knot. You do need to leave some space in between where you come out with your yarn and where you put your needle in the next time. So it does happen, don't worry. So there. I want to put another one right here, so I have a slightly straighter edge. And again, I will just keep going all the way around the heart on the inside of it until I'm gonna have less and less space left on the inside. So I'll just keep going around and around. I will come back once this thread is finished, and I will show you again how I hide it if that is still, perhaps it wasn't very clear for you the last time. So I'm running out of my yarn again, so this time I'm far away from my loop, so I'm just gonna hide it where I am. I'm gonna go one way and back and cut it off, and I will come back and I'm going to pull out that little knot that I had for the very first French knot that I did, and I will just hide it separately. Again, in between the single crochets. So I will connect another strand now, and I will keep going until I'm going to fill in all of the heart, and that is when I'm going to see you. So keep going until it is as full as possible. And I'm almost done with my pocket, as you can see right here. So one more thing that I want to do is I want to go around stitching those kind of French knots a little bit closer to each other all the way around. As you can see right here, it kind of makes that shape a little bit more, I don't know, contoured, I suppose, that little heart. Okay, so I just pulled out my yarn to the closest side of the heart, so I ended up here. It doesn't matter if you're here or wherever, and I'm just gonna go very close, a little bit further away, not too much of a distance, and just very close to those French knots. And when I'm pulling in, I'm gonna make sure that the strand lies under those French knots. I'm gonna come out a little bit further. And again, I'm gonna go to the very tip of my heart. And sometimes it's a bit more noticeable than other times. If you're not happy with that, you can pull it out and do it again. So right here and on to the other side. Now you don't have to do this. This is just something that I like to do, just to make that shape a bit more hearty. And if at any point I feel like I could do another French knot somewhere, I will do it, like right here where I am right now. So I feel like I can do another French knot. I'm just gonna go right here and do another one. think I want to do another French knot right here. And I will keep going. And just keep going around, fixing and making that shape a little bit nicer. And I'm done. They don't always come out exactly perfectly the same. It is made by hand. So, and again, if you're not happy with your hearts, try to look at them from a little bit further away, because sometimes when you look really closely, you can see all these flaws and you're not happy with it, but from far away, they always look much nicer. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you. I did my best, and this is just the way I do my pockets. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!